The committee has met again, and the committee consists of, if you like, the banking industry. We have a representative of the accounting industry. We have farmlands there. We obviously have the Rural Support Trust there, Mr. Mike Barham, who's been doing an amazing amount of work. And even though bringing the feed up from the South Island, there was a little bit of negative discussion around that at the beginning. Actually, it's worked out very well. And we will have around about 7,000 what they call 22 bale equivalents landed in Hawke's Bay from the South Island by the end of this process, which has been a huge help to the farming community that have really been struggling for feed and wondering how they're going to get through. There are some challenges out there that are, for some people, the rest of the winter and the spring could be quite dire, certainly in the sheep and beef industry. The dairy folk have managed to, as they've dried cows off, get a bank of feed in front of them with the use of nitrogen, etc. And they've had adequate rain generally to kickstart that along, but some in the sheep and beef community are really struggling, and just want to make the point that we're not finished yet. I think some of the repercussions will not be felt until the spring, when there's a whole lot of people lined up to buy a smaller, if you like, selection of livestock to replace what they've gotten rid of on the way through. So conversely, and I could defer to the CE because he has a far greater understanding of the wine industry than I do, but the BRICS levels are really good, have been really good for the wine. The wine guys, they're looking, 2013 is going to be a good crop by the sounds of things. And I said that seriously, by the way, Mr. CE, you do understand how it works better than I do, what BRICS, etc. means. But also the hort guys, the apple harvest in particular has been a boomer, and the demand is high. And finally, those guys are going to put some money in the bank, which is great. And I know it is cyclical, but those that could keep up their water, etc., early on have had a great season. So. But anyway, that's a bit of a synopsis of the drought stuff. I went to see the Mangaharuru Tangetu settlement. Fantastic day. It had a lot of meaning that day. It was great. And it's good that we've been dealing with them, through the Joint Planning Committee and other things. And to see Tanya Hopman's ultimately recognised as an architect of what is a fantastic outcome, it was quite satisfying. So it was a good day. Anyway, any questions?
I just assumed that the meeting we had with the Honourable Chris Finlinson and Dr. Marker was about that settlement at Mangaharuru, was it?
Yeah, it was about settlements in general, yeah. Yep. Councillor Dick.
Are you able to tell us anything about your meeting with Taupo District and local government? Yeah,
that was interesting. The tentacles of this amalgamation debate spread far and wide, and I had the royal summons to go over there and talk to Rick Cooper, the mayor, bit of a character, around the implications to them of the Taharua catchment and associate came into a unitary council with us, and it would cost them $250,000 off their bottom line and rates each year. So he was reasonably direct in his conversation about what's going on and who's doing what. He also took the opportunity to march the Waikato Regional Council in. Dare I say it, I was on my own there. There was about 10 of them. And the Taupo guys, I think they just wanted an understanding of what the process is, what's happening over here. I basically put on the table and said, well, it's a live discussion. It's out of the council's hands just at the moment. It depends on what the commission comes back with, and they may be in the middle of a discussion around, a unitary potentially, possibly, including that footprint of land. So, they are interested in the outcome of that, and they just wanted to see get a lay of the land, if you like.
Did they do submissions?
They wrote a letter saying leave our ratepayers alone, I think, something like that. Something along those lines. Councillor Scott.
And apropos their concern of their bottom line, Do those people actually use their services, or do they, if they want any services, drive over to Napier or Hastings? They rate them. They rate them for facilities such as libraries and swimming pools and all these sorts of things.
As they do, yeah.
Is Taupo their community?
Generally, I think it is. Poronui Station, they pop out the end of the road and over the hill and they're into Taupo, so, yeah. Yep. Councillor McGregor.
Mr. Chairman, does Chris Lester of Dock going to keep his job?
Well, if it's any help to Chris Lester, I didn't interview him, so I've no idea. There is a state of flux at Dock at the moment. They're going through interviews at the process, and at the moment, that's the state of the process at the moment, as they are being interviewed. And yeah, I don't know. End of July. Yeah, it'd be good for us to get some certainty about who was doing what with Dock too. Councillor Rem as well.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. A note here that you also attended the regional cycling workshop along with Councillor Dick and myself, and if you wouldn't mind me saying that was organised partly by Regional Council and the other councils in the DHB, and I thought it was a very, very good afternoon and three very, very good speakers and some good discussion, and a really good afternoon's Hawke's Bay interaction and piece of work. So I'd just like to pass my congratulations on to the staff who organised that.
Thank you. No, it was very well received, and the subsequent, if you like, regional cycling strategy was the subsequent regional cycling strategy will be good with that interaction. So it's good, and it was good to see the all the councils there with bells on. They were. It was great. Councillor Curtin.
Just these meetings, MD, are they about fruit production, etc.?
The meeting with...
Pulling a leg, Mr. Chair.
Okay. Thank you, Councillor. You happy to move then on that basis?
Move on basis, Mr. Chair.
After that, those awkward comments, you wish to speak?
No, it's fine.
So I misheard you. I thought I did too. Anyone else wish to speak? I'll put that motion, then all those in favour please say aye. Contrary, no. Carried.